Oh man, will you look at that? Oh, that's gonna be a lot of money to fix. Bringing you guys a little bit of a late video tonight, but we had just got back. Actually, just got back from visiting a friend, and they let me borrow their hydraulic jack.
Yeah, so there's a company called Crowdstrike. They're a leader in the cybersecurity world. And they just released their numbers that are really good. They beat top and bottom numbers. Everything's good to go. Yeah, oh yeah, you want to see it? Yeah, man. So they did really, really good. Had great numbers, and their stock has done this, where basically here, I'll back it up one, two. Bam. It was trading at $161, and now it's at $141. So the thing we'll do is it's coming back up because it's a great company that great numbers, but the stock market's out of hand right now, so numbers are not insanely world beating, so people dump it. It's down almost 12% just today alone.
Right, dumping it before an announcement of a approved debt new budget.
Yep, exactly, and that's the smart play right there. As soon as the new budget comes through, because the thing is, I did a video on the channel about it earlier last week. A Chinese state-sponsored hacking group came out and, we caught them basically stealing credentials for people who work for American infrastructure. And what companies catch these people? Companies like CrowdStrike. That's how they get caught.
The reason being is because I needed to do some work on my Porsche Macan GTS. This beauty right here. And what they did was they let me borrow their jack because my jack is actually still in Atlanta. So I borrowed their hydraulic jack, which you probably can't see because it's crazy dark in here, but there's a hydraulic jack right there. And my jack's still in Atlanta because as we were packing up for our final trip, our final U-Haul trip here to Florida, that was the one thing I could not squeeze in it. We had that joker packed so tight. So my jack's still in Atlanta, and I let a friend hold it. So I borrowed this jack. But this will save me a lot of money. Save me money from having to go buy a new jack. Save me money from paying a mechanic or a shop to do any work to the car. Now granted, I did just get it back from Porsche for some maintenance and warranty work to the tune of about $10,000 or $11,000. They had it for like 2 or 3 weeks. It cost 11 grand, okay? But now I've got some parts that I picked up from Six Motorsports, and I want to get them installed.
All right, so we just got to Six Motorsports in Orlando. Well, not really Orlando, I think it's Sanford. But y'all, this color blue is my absolute favorite. I say that, but then I'm like, I really like the white, but then I really like the blue. It's very hard to decide between. All right, so we're inside the Six. Y'all, look at this bike. This is the coolest looking thing. I don't know what it is, but I love these barn doors. They got a lot of stuff going on in here. I love being in like warehouse workspaces. This is John, by the way. He owns Six. Y'all know the man.
This is kind of our industrial printing process. It uses a really fine powder. It's a nylon-based composite. And those little powders get spread out that you'll see in just a second, I think.
So you use this to make the filters?
The duct that's around there. So the filters, there's a manufacturer in the States that actually puts those together, and then we pair it with the duct top.
Do most places have their own 3D printing for car parts?
No.
I was about to say.
Yeah, pretty expensive machine.
Yeah.
So, we have this, and there's another part of the process in the back that we do to kind of like depowder everything, deburr it. But yeah, right now it's actually warming up. It's about to hit the temperature, so it's still preheating. But what happens is the laser goes across this layer, and it fuses together these little fine powders to make a part.
Never seen a 3D printer.
That's kind of neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that's going way cooler.
So this is a 3D printer also?
Yeah, so this is kind of like a traditional FDM printer is what it's called. And
Okay.
what it uses
Oh, that's
is
kinda
that
neat.
roll of filament, goes through here to an extruder, and basically melts that plastic and then places it down, and then it cures and goes together. So this is really good for like prototyping individual parts. So we make our Macan jack pad adapters in these.
Nice.
Nice.
That's it. Yeah.
Here's that blue I like.
So this one was just recently on YouTube, right?
Yeah, this puts out 900 at the wheels.
Nice.
A little over 1,000 horsepower.
1,000 horsepower. I would get in so much trouble in this thing.
So in your experience with your Macan
So
Turbo,
pretty.
any drawbacks to it?
No, not really. I think, in my opinion, when you go to downpipes, it gets a little bit raspier.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love this blue. Man, there's something about a Porsche. I used to hate the headlights. I don't know why, but now I'm like weirdly addicted to these things. Yeah, this is why I'm a weirdo. I would put this in my living room. I would put a blow up picture of a Porsche on the wall if I could, or an old Chevy Bel Air. Again, I still like old school. But here's the thing. I am weirdly addicted to waiting areas. Child, go sit in this chair. Tell me it's not the most comfortable chair you've ever sat in your entire life. Just wait. Watch. She's gonna sit. She's gonna sink. She's lying. Look at her face. She knows it's comfy. Yeah, I'm addicted to waiting. I don't know if it's really a waiting room, but they have like a whole section over there with the couches and stuff. But man, yeah, this is nice. But that right there, that's baller.
So in order to save money, I'm going to just install it myself. Very simple, very easy process. And if you guys want to see the installation, then drop a comment down below and let me know.
There you go, man. You have a great day.
Thank you. This is yet another money savings strategy because, hear me out, by modifying the vehicle and essentially making it a one-of-one spec, my own personal build, it makes it very hard for me to want to get rid of it. It makes it very hard for me to want to trade it in. So it forces me to keep it. And honestly, right now, I think is a great time to keep and hang on to them because the prices are going up and the interest rates are just getting higher. And trade-in values are going to be reduced and lowered. So I'm gonna hang on to it as long as possible. And that'll probably be for at least another year, maybe, yeah. Probably won't get rid of it until we decide on where we're going to end up as far as our next home. So the goal is to get a house with garage space so that the vehicle has a place to park. Granted, I have a garage here, but it's still full of stuff. So before I get going on working on this small little project, I'm going to clean out the garage, mainly because it needs to be done, but also because there's some tools in there that I need, and the only way for me to gain access to them is to find them. So killing two birds with one stone. But in the end, it's all in line with the intentions of saving money. And honestly, right now, that should be at the very forefront of a lot of people's minds. Obviously, there's a lot going on in the economy. There's a lot going on around the world. A lot going on with the Fed. There's a lot going on with the Biden administration and Congress as far as this debt ceiling crisis. And there's a lot going on with business too. Today, Chick-fil-A was in the headlines. Chick-fil-A was in the news. Nvidia was in the news. Anheuser-Busch and Bud Light was in the news. Tesla was in the news. So there's a lot going on. And now is the time where I really want to be focusing very, very strongly on my budget, on my money. So essentially, I'm trying to spend as little as possible and ultimately buy as little as possible and stop spending money. Now, with that being said, if I were to decide to trade up and get a new Porsche, odds are it would be a new Porsche, maybe an Audi RS Q8, but I even looked at a Dodge Charger Hellcat. I don't know if I can swap out and go from German to American like that. I don't know if that would work out too well for me. I enjoy the drive. I enjoy the suspension and the handling characteristics of these vehicles. And there's one thing that is kind of hard to argue with, and that is that Porsche quite possibly has the best steering in the game. Close second would probably be McLaren, with Lamborghini actually coming behind them with the Huracan Evo or Huracan STO, and maybe even beyond that. Ford actually stepped it up with the new Mustang, but Porsche's steering characteristics, it adds a lot to the drive. Not to mention the reliability factor, the functionality factor. I mean, I was able to fit a full-size hydraulic jack in the back, and we still have plenty of space in the hatch. We got seats 5. It's kind of hard to beat. All-wheel drive. If I really wanted to, I could put a tow hitch on it. I could put a roof rack on it. But if it were to come down to it, if I decided to, or if I was forced to, obviously I'm going to finance the next vehicle. And financing through a lender for an automobile loan is similar to utilizing my credit cards on a regular basis. And that's what I'm trying to do, which is eliminate the need to use money, to spend money, cash, dollars, because I would much rather prefer to utilize credit for the safety benefits, the rewards, perks, and every other pro that comes with credit card usage. And so I'm trying not to spend money. I would prefer to leverage debt and utilize credit and keep my cash and keep my liquidity position as high as possible. So with that being said, I think that a lot of folks are going to be in a similar situation, especially when they start looking at their employment, when they start looking at their portfolios, when they start looking at the situations that are rapidly evolving each and every day. If I were an employee, specifically like a mid-level or higher level employee at Chick-fil-A, I would probably be, strategically planning my financial position just in case things go south. Now, with that being said, we've seen what happened to Bud Light, we've seen what happened to Anheuser-Busch, but at the end of the day, the market is going to dictate ultimately what the society is going to agree with and align with. And it's interesting to see how situations like Anheuser-Busch and Budweiser and the choices that they've made, in addition to Chick-fil-A and, S. Truett Cathy's founding company, and how the market responds. Now, interestingly enough, Fox News reported that depending on what state you live in, will dictate and determine the different DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion mandates will be issued, where Now states, lawmakers in certain states and legislation passed will have a direct impact to your business and how it operates. Now, this could potentially lead to businesses relocating out of certain states and into other states. Much like I shared with you how California and New York has lost over $100 billion in income over the last 2 years to states like Texas and Florida, we could potentially see an influx of businesses traveling to other states. Now, with that being said, Fox News said that being in New York, they had their own rules, they had their own guidelines, they had their own mandates, they have their own new laws and legislation, whereas Chick-fil-A, headquartered in Georgia, completely different politics, completely different voter pool, completely different demographic. But this is quite possibly going to have a major impact on people's income, their employment, their finances, their savings, their retirement, as well as the future with the company, but overall nationwide and globally, how this could impact the company's overall performance. Now, granted, we've talked about this before. Chick-fil-A is not a publicly traded company. It's not a stock that you can buy. It's not traded on the stock exchange or the NASDAQ or anything like that. It's not included in the S&P 500. So the repercussions will be felt closer to home with them. But for other businesses and other corporations that are making these changes and are making these moves and are going woke and aligning with some of the propaganda and the agendas and the ideologies that are being pushed onto them, this could have an impact on their valuation of their company and the future of their company actually their company's survival. So, you know, if it were me, I would not want to be in a position where I'm at risk of being low on cash by spending money. Therefore, I'm going to utilize debt. I'm going to leverage credit, keep my cash position high, and wait for the opportunity to present itself where I could potentially buy these companies at a discount or get involved in some options trades on the upswing or the downswing, because we're about to see some intense volatility in the markets, and this is only going to further widen the wealth gap from those who are paying attention, those who are involved, those who are participating, if they can, whereas many cannot for a variety of reasons. But oftentimes many of these reasons include the fact that they just don't know how. They don't know where to start. They think that they don't have enough money to even begin, and that is completely not the case. Somebody asked me, they said, you know, Kevin, how are you able to do all that you do? How are you able to spend so much money all the time? How are you able to go so many different places? How are you able to afford the lifestyle that you have? And honestly, it just comes down to a real basic, simple principle. And it's, you know, I've been working towards this for a long time, and I keep working every single day. You know, it may not seem like a job per se. And you know, maybe YouTube will fizzle out at some point and you won't see me here anymore. You won't see anybody here anymore for that matter. But until then, we're going to keep this going. And at the same time, many other people are utilizing this opportunity in a great way to produce huge revenues. But honestly, it's like a very simple and easy principle, philosophy, and it's one of start early and stick with it, stay with it, keep at it, and just take it day by day. I hope this isn't too much echo in here. I had no idea it was so, it's like a tin can in here. It's kind of crazy. We only got 3 floors, so get out of here. But yeah, consistency, you know, making investments, steady investments in a regular interval period is the name of the game. That's That's a simple and easy method that's worked for many. And it's paid off. It's paid off big time. And, you know, I'm constantly engaging and having conversations with others who are doing similar wealth building growth strategies to then incorporate that into the mix, so that, you know, I can benefit from it, but hopefully you guys can benefit from it too, from the walks and the talks and the videos and the conversations that we have. Some of you guys have said that you really enjoy the beach walks and how the conversations evolve. So if that is actually the case, then go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget there's links down in the description so you can get your free stocks. You want to talk about not having any money to invest? Moo takes that out of the equation. Get your free stocks while they're giving them away. Get your free stocks while they're giving them away. And if you want to start trading options, you're going to need a brokerage account anyway. And I'm telling you, these options, we can do some ghost trades and we can do some paper trades, and you can see just how much money you can make. But you got to get started. Don't forget also, make money on Facebook, replying to comments. $175 a day, literally replying to comments, as well as having access to the $725 million Facebook settlement pot. That's big money right there. Tell me you wouldn't want to gain access to that free money right now. That's like, if you've been waiting on a stimulus check, that's going to be a stimulus check right there. But at the end of the day, me, when I get that money, when I get the money from making this video, when I get the money from my affiliate links, when I get the money from my paid promotions, when I get the money from my sponsorships, when I get the money from all the income streams and passive income streams and dividend payments that I have coming in, then it's like, cool. Stash that away, protect it. Remember, diversity, security, and cash flow. That's the cash flow coming in. The ways in which it comes in is the diversity. The security are the methods in which that I'm going to protect it. But I'm also looking to further multiply and expand on my diversity by then putting this to great use to make even more money through the opportunities that are going to be presenting themselves here in, if not weeks, just days. So if you guys are interested in knowing more, seeing what I'm doing, learning how you guys can do the same, by all means, subscribe to the channel, turn on your alerts, turn on notifications. But I don't want to miss out on these opportunities by spending money instead of using debt and leveraging credit in the interim, which also reduces how much items cost because of rewards points and discounts. Not only does it do that, but it also extends the return policy. It adds extended warranties. There's a lot of perks. I can pay my bill with statement credits. There's a lot of upside, there's a lot of plus, there's a lot of pros, a lot of positives, very few negatives. And you know, if this is something you guys are interested in, you just got to let me know so I know what to make for you guys to help you guys out on your journey. And you know, I think that 2023, 2024 is going to see some major changes, but I think that these changes can be very, very good for those who are taking advantage of these opportunities and these situations and not sitting back and letting them pass them by. I got some more updates that I'm going to bring to you guys tomorrow. We got some family coming into town, so I'm gonna try to get them on the video too. But until then, you guys take care, be safe. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all real soon.